We are entering now into the last couple of weeks of the liturgical year, moving closer and closer to the ending feast, which is called Christ, the King of the universe. So the readings get rather apocalyptic. Wars and insurrections and all of these things, and through it all, Christ the King, Jesus Christ himself, prevails. Will give rest to our souls, peace to our hearts, and peace to the universe. So this past week, I thought it might be appropriate to bring up some of the instances of this past week with the election and all. And I was talking to Brandon, our youth minister, and he says, "Hey buddy, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. You might want to just leave that alone." So I'm going to try my best, and I'm going to try my best here, of course. But I think it's something that we need to talk about as a church. Jesus is telling us point blank, follow me. I am the way, the truth, and the life. He is the one that's going to bring peace to our souls, rest to our hearts. And here on earth, we all, during this time, we need to come and unify. Bring peace to our nation, bring peace to the world, and come together. Heart to heart, soul to soul, in this great nation that we have. But never has it felt like we've been so divided, with riots, with hatred, with words, with anger. There's so much emotion wrapped up into everything that's going on. It feels like everything is just going to burst. In the gospel, Jesus is saying, follow me, don't follow the people. Don't follow others. And we do. We're followers of people, and that's kind of what we are. That's what elections are all about. We put on our heart and our soul into no matter what, rooting for who we're rooting for, defending who we need to defend. Whether we agree or we don't, we're kind of on all sides of the spectrum here. But at the end of the day, we put all of our emotion and all our anxiety, all our joys, all our everything into a person. And of course, at the end of the day, the person isn't going to give rest to our souls, peace to our hearts. Everybody is trying their best to reach out to this great common good that we're all, to the depths of our soul, is what we're concerned about. The peace and security of our neighbor, of our friend, and making sure that we live the best lives that we can as people and, of course, as a nation. But it can be very difficult. And when we don't agree on things, it can be very difficult. How can we get under the issues and get to the heart-to-heart, get to the person-to-person, and live together as one big happy family? Seems like it's impossible sometimes. There is a commercial, it's kind of a corny one, but it was for pedigree for dogs. And I was watching this, I said, are you kidding me? This is just a really funny commercial. So there's a lady that says, okay, I'm going to go into a Trump rally wearing a Hillary Clinton shirt, but I'm going to have a dog with me. And then I'm going to go to a Hillary Clinton rally and have a Trump shirt on, and I'm going to have a dog with me. And I'm going to see what happens. And the whole moral of the commercial was that everybody fell in love with the dog. They didn't care whether they had the Trump shirt on, whether they had the Hillary Clinton shirt on. They were all petting the golden retriever, and the golden retriever was all happy. And it was just to show that, well, see, everybody got below a little bit of the issues and agreed on something. They agreed that everybody loves dogs. So Pedigree paid me for this homily today, so go out and buy some dog food. But in all seriousness, of course, it gets to the point that we all need to be extending the olive branch. We all need to be seeing below and realizing that people want the best for their kids. People want the best for their neighbors, and people do want the best for their families. But Jesus says, follow me. I am the way, the truth, and the life. We as Catholic Christians living in the United States of America don't brand ourselves. We are branded as Christians. We are not branded, and I hate brands, of liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican. We, in this church, we are all living our lives for Jesus Christ. We are following him. We get below all this stuff, and no matter what political party we fall under, we are following him with our hearts and our souls and trying to do the best that we can. And with him, there's no defending Jesus Christ. He is the way, the truth, and the life, and he brings peace. When we have found him, despite how messed up everything can appear, or how the wars and the insurrections and the riots, we see below all that and realize, no, we are about love. And we bring uniting, we bring peace and security to our friends, our neighbors, all those that have been entrusted to us by the way that we live. And it starts with us. And knowing that we do have that love of Jesus Christ, we have received all the things that we have in this great church. Yes, we do take stances. We do get passionate. We do get emotional about some things because we believe that deep down what we have learned. And of course, that's normal being part of a human. But hopefully we can all get past and realize that we're trying to reach some common good with our neighbors, our relatives, and our friends who might not agree on the surface of some things that might cause us a lot of anger and anxiety and even hate sometimes. May we all reach below the surface and realize that we are Christian and we are called to head the charge up to bring unity and peace and security and calmness, because he is the one that's bringing it to us. We can't do it ourselves. It's all through him. So in closing, I want to read a little poem about following Jesus. Originally, I looked up in Google, poems about following Jesus, and they're all little kids' poems. So I found one written by an adult. So I think it's, with the election, it's a little bit more of a, this is a serious matter, but when I read this, I thought that it really hits home what we're talking about today. It's called Follow Me, written by a guy named Justin Farley. You say follow me, but I'm not sure where you are going. You say follow me, as if you're leading me out of the chaos and confusion. But the closer I follow, the thicker the clouds of darkness seem to be, and the less comfortable my life gets. You say follow me, but insist that I leave me behind. You say follow me, but wait a minute, let me look you over. Let me examine you and say, who are you? But still you say follow me. But my head has different plans. It sees the storm clouds that you are brewing, and the confrontation that arises wherever you go. My mind makes up all sorts of excuses, finds ways to dismiss you and remain in the lead. But you say follow me. And I see the goodness and living water that flows from the river that you are providing. I see the beauty of your face. And if what you say is true, it is the greatest story that the world will ever know. But you say follow me. And it scares me because there is still some doubt. But does that doubt have anything to do with you? Or because I know accepting you comes at a cost? Knowing that I'll have to die to myself and admit that I'm lost. You say follow me. Grant that I may be willing to take up my cross. So no matter how difficult it seems at unity and peace, may we see that peace of Christ and lead even though we think it's being led into some kind of chaos and darkness. But we only go through this chaos and darkness to get to that light of Christ, the peace and security he promises us, which may or may not happen here, but it will up in heaven. May we persevere in the faith, may we persevere in love, and may we persevere in truth.